Hello and welcome to Blytheway Business News. Today I'm joined by Dan Betts, who's Chief Executive of Hummingbird Resources. Hummingbird is listed on the AIM market in London with a ticker of HUM. Hummingbird has just announced its third quarter results. It's been a busy quarter, but as one analyst said to me last week about Hummingbird, it's always a busy quarter, Hummingbird. These guys don't let the grass grow. Dan, welcome back to the show. You've done the third quarter results. Just give us a quick run through the highlights, please.
Thanks, Tim. Thanks for having me on again. Well, you're right. It's been a very busy quarter. There's been an awful lot going on. I mean, operationally, it's only fair to say it's had its challenges. I mean, we've overcome the logistical challenge of a military coup in Mali that meant that the borders were closed for a significant part of the quarter. That put a bit of pressure on the supply chain. When you couple that with the whole COVID-19 issues and everything else, the whole mining community and people working remote places are working with, there's been a few challenges, lots of rain to deal with. You know, I'm pleased to say we're at the end of the rainy season. So here we are at the end of Q3 and we've overcome, I'd say, a very challenging operational period, and we're well framed, I think, moving forward into Q4 and beyond. I think at the start of the year, we set out a few key strategic objectives. One was deleveraging to reach net cash this year, and my accounts team would kill me if I said we were net cash. We're not, but we're certainly very close and approaching it. If you include the gold we have on inventory, we really are approaching that sort of a 0 point quite fast. And another key strategy was the extension of the mine life at Yanfolila. And we are all very encouraged with the exploration results we're getting from certainly a couple of new deposits at Sanamali in the north and the Kamana East underground deposits. So that's a lot of work's been going into that, and I think that's very encouraging. And that's before you get into the new project at Caruso in Guinea, where we're working hard to prepare the ground, doing the front-end engineering and design and getting ready to commence construction at Caruso. And in Liberia, we now have a joint venture partner who is working ferociously hard to, get exploration underway, rebuild the camps and roads, and get that project motoring. And I think we're looking forward to some very exciting news flow there. So lots going on. I mean, operationally, some challenges, but good, really, that we've overcome them and we're motoring. And corporately, in terms of the development of the company, I'd say there's a tremendous amount going on, Tim.
Dan, I want to come back in a moment to Caruso and Doobie and get in some detail on that. But you've been doing some drilling, some exploration drilling as well. Can you give us a bit more detail on how that's been going? And what does that mean for the outlook in 2021?
Well, it won't change the outlook in 2021 because we'll be, in terms of our mine plan, we'll be mining the reserves that are already published and in our mine plan. But Yanfolila has a sort of 5-year reserve-based mine plan that is, I think, to the critical eye, a weakness in the business model. It's a relatively short mine life. And if we can show extra resources or convert resources into reserves to extend that mine life, that's going to have an immediate and meaningful impact on our NPV and on our valuation. Particularly now, we are effectively deleveraged so far. We're virtually at net cash. I think any increase in the NPV should hopefully translate straight through into market cap and hopefully share price. The drilling we've been doing has been focused on proving up the underground project for the Kamana East pit. And we've been getting very encouraging results there, showing continuity where we hoped we would hit it. That's giving us extra confidence in that project. And we've hit some greenfield targets for new discoveries, which warrant follow-up. And perhaps most significantly of all, in the north of the license area, we have two deposits called Sanamali East and Sanamali West, where we've been doing a lot of exploration drilling, both to give us more confidence in the resource model and to step out the resource model in terms of the scale. And I mean, we've been getting some really tremendous hits. I mean, post period end, we've just had a hole that's come in at 16 meters at 10 grams a ton. I mean, when you become a producer, things like that get lost in the noise. No one cares, really. It's just like, oh, show us the numbers, show us the cash. But actually, if we were just an exploration company, and that is a tremendous drill hole, and we've had lots and lots of drill holes with over 100 gram meter intersections. So I think Murray, who heads up our exploration team and the geology department, and really we're all enthused about that and looking forward to modelling it and sharing that news when we've wrapped economics around it and know what it means.
Yeah, it's interesting what you say, because if you are a gold producer, you're producing gold at Yanfolila, and I agree with you. Exploration and drilling can sometimes get a bit lost in the mix, but that's great news. You mentioned at the top of the interview that one of the strategic objectives was to deleverage Hummingbird, and you made great progress on that. Another one of the big strategic objectives was away from being that single asset, that single mine producer at Yanfolila, and become a multi-asset producer. So let's now look at some of the other assets. And can we start first of all with Carusa in Guinea? A bit more colour on that, please, and why you're excited about it.
Well, the grade to start with. That was the reason we bought the project. And I talk about 100 gram meter intervals. If you have a 10 meter interval at 10 grams a ton, that gives you 100 gram meters. That's the simple maths. And that's whether you call it world class or just very good, but that's an exceptional drill hole. And if you get multiple hits like that, you start to get very excited. And there are dozens of 100 gram meter intervals at Caruso. The exploration potential is huge. And our team is obviously focused on doing the front-end engineering design to right size the project, and so that we can commence with confidence to build on the project and all the economics, which we'll share with the market as soon as we've completed it. That's all going really well. But I think the more we get into the project, the more excited we are about the upside, the exploration potential, and how this story can develop into a really excellent project. There's an election at the moment in Guinea. We're waiting for the government of Guinea to give us the mining license, which is a prerequisite before we can start construction. And I'm sure once these elections are out of the way and things return to normal, then that will be forthcoming in short order. Seem to have a great early relationship with the government of Guinea, very supportive of our work there. And we're all very enthused, looking forward to it.
From what I've read, there's a great deal of similarity geologically, metallurgically, between Carusa and Yanfolila. So I guess you're hoping that the team that brought Yanfolila to production will understand Carusa, if that's the right expression, and be able to do a similar job down there. Is that right?
Well, the synergy, you're right. It was a big reason for being attracted to the project. The synergies geologically, scale-wise, capital-wise, in terms of the partners we can bring for construction, potentially our banking partners, in senior management could potentially have input and be shared across two projects because they're close. They can fly between the two projects. So, and in terms of the metallurgy and the process flow sheet, there's a tremendous amount of similarity between the two. So lots of knowledge in Hummingbird that we can utilize and share, and that's going to save us a lot of heartache, I think, and mean, any of the mistakes we made first time around, we won't be making this time around, even though I don't think we made too many. But
well, let's now look at the third asset, although in many ways it was the first asset, because long-time watchers of Hummingbird will know that you started at Doobie in Liberia, and then I suppose had the realization, whoa, this is big and might be a bit too big for us. And it's been on the balance sheet for a long time, probably with no value, it's probably fair to say, draining cash every year as you had to pay for the license, but now you've managed to move it forwards. Update us on where we are with Doobie.
Well, look, I suppose in Hummingbird, it's part of our DNA, the Liberian asset. As you say, this is how we started, and it was an exploration project, and we found it and all the rest of it. And it's been frustrating over the last few years that it's had no value to us in terms of the share price and the company and all the rest of it. But I'm delighted with the partner we've got. The technical team they've mobilized to the ground just seems absolutely first class. Going through their geological presentation of their targets and their understanding of the work we did is just really exciting, reinvigorating, because fresh eyes are looking at this and seeing angles and other opportunities that perhaps we got jaded by it. You go back 5 years. I know that they're looking to drill some new targets, not just the Tuzon and Doobie F deposits that are the basis of the scoping study we did. And I think, if we start to get some significant hits on those new targets as well, I think the world will start to realize what we've always believed, which is this is a multi-mine camp. It's not just a 3, 4, 5, 10 million ounce deposit. It's many mines. And I've always believed that. It sounds over promotional, but our mining permit's over 70 kilometers wide. We had 136 targets to drill, and we drilled 3 of them, and they all hit gold. And we had 4 million ounces of gold. So I just think the scale is difficult for people to comprehend. And I think with the team on the ground, but also the guys behind them with Steve Detells and Ian Stalker, I think they've got all bases covered in terms of getting the story out, promoting it, raising the capital, but also the technical skills to operate. So we're there to support them, work with them, share all the knowledge we can. And I think it's going to happen quite fast. They're very aggressive, and I think that's good.
Okay. Well, we'll keep an eye on that one.
Yeah.
Can I take you now? Well, it's still a key part of mining. In the last year or so, ESG has become a real buzz phrase. Everyone's getting anxious about ESG. Those who've been mining a long time might think that some people are just playing catch up, because as long as I've known Hummingbird, it's not something that you do because you think you should. It's just been part of your way of operating, I suppose. It's always been very central to what you do. So I know you've got a project, an ongoing series of projects in Mali. Just give us a quick overview of what you're doing down there.
Well, I mean, just to back up a bit, Tim. I mean, I don't want to sound directionless in this comment, but we are accidental miners, really. I mean, we set up as an exploration company, and then it's like a real life geography lesson unfolds around you. You build a camp, and then people set up farms to supply you, and then there's the whole supply chain stuff, and disease comes in, and you're like, wow, this is all happening on our watch. What can we do about it? And as a result, our setting up of the Pygmy Hippo Foundation to preserve wilderness areas, our community health projects, whether they be malnutrition, malaria, education, hospital, the rest of it, and our alternative livelihoods projects, which I can go into detail where we're at in Guinea, in Mali, are absolutely part of our DNA and fundamental to the company we want to build. And I think Hummingbird can easily be seen as a world leader in how gold companies should run and how they can give back and work as one with the communities. The single mine origin gold initiative that we've set up, where you can trace the gold produced all the way through to jewelers who are using it. And if you were to buy a ring, you get a QR code and it tells you this ring was mined at this site. Here are all the community projects that are being done. And some of those projects in Mali, which, Yanfolila is not a big mine, but we have 10 market gardens that employ over 650 people. All that produce isn't just for providing the mine. Those are real livelihoods where the produce is going into the market. We have soap factories, chicken farms. We've educated people on how to keep bees. There's it's just, the list is endless of all the projects that we're doing at site. And I think that is something for the company to be really proud of. Another one is our reforestation project. Sorry, not deforestation, that'd be bad. We've reforested over 20 hectares of trees in Mali this year. That's a big area of trees, not just planting a couple of trees to pay lip service to it. That's a real project. And I think, we'll keep going and keep being imaginative. We've brought on a guy called Edward Montgomery, who his job is Chief Strategy and ESG Officer, bringing someone in who right at the heart of the company in the senior management position to drive this initiative and the ESG side of the business. So, I'm excited about the stuff Monty can bring to the business.
Well, more power to his and to your elbow. So look, let's just wind this up. In summary, looking forward into 2021, what's the key things we should be looking out for from Hummingbird?
So I think first and foremost, coming out of Q3, where we've had a challenging operational environment, to really steady the ship operationally and just continue to produce solid ounces at the costs we want to produce. That's the company's immediate priority. But then, we're looking forward to developing the results from the exploration program and building into the 2021 exploration programs, both in Mali and in Guinea, to extend and showcase the potential at Crusoe. We're looking forward to our partners in Liberia coming out with news as they start drilling and developing the Liberian project, which has huge potential. We're looking forward to developing our life of mine plans for Yamfalila, particularly with the underground at Kamana East. That's probably enough to be going on with for now, Tim. But I mean, ultimately, I think we are deleveraged. We have a mine that is producing cash. We have another development project within 18 months can see us to be nearly a 250,000 ounce producer, producing, you know, if that was at under $1,000 an ounce EBITDA, you're talking nearly $250 million annualized. The market cap of Hummingbird is 130 million pounds. So really, you wrap all that up, we need to get on the front foot and talk about it because the company is tremendously undervalued at the moment.
Thanks, Dan. Exciting times for Hummingbird coming up. That was Dan Betts, Chief Executive of Hummingbird Resources. As I said, Hummingbird is listed on the AIM market with a ticker of HUM, HUM, 138 million market cap. And as Dan was explaining, implementing their strategies of deleveraging, getting the debt down and moving from being a single asset gold producer in Mali to being a multi-asset gold company. And as that analyst had said to me only last week, these guys don't let the grass grow. That's all from Blytheway Business News for today. Thank you for watching.